Oh, hey!
Oh,
Hi, well, welcome to the guide.
I'm just
Happy birthday!
Yeah, happy
to the
birthday.
3DS.
Yeah, I'm Yo. That's Will, and we're here just really quick to talk about 3DS.
Was it worth it?
Now, you were the first person I know to get a 3DS. So I think of all people, you are the most qualified to kind of give your assessment. 1 year later, are you glad you did that?
I was so excited for the 3DS, and I bought it for the original full ridiculous price of $249.
Yep.
And I have bought one game for it in the past year.
Zelda.
Is it. Zelda, yeah.
Yep.
I had a great time with that, but I don't know. I feel like it doesn't feel like it's been a year because I feel like I haven't gotten enough use out of it yet. But I feel like they could have waited until now to release the 3DS, because when they did it last year, there wasn't really anything to support it.
Yeah, it was kind of a fiasco, and I think Nintendo didn't handle it very well. They launched it before it was ready. They launched it without any, killer app titles for it. They launched it without some features. We had to do downloads to get some of the features.
Yeah.
So I think they jumped the gun. However, I think it's starting now to come into its own. The features such as Spot Pass and Street Pass, the way that's used with some games now, it's pretty cool. Like, I get excited when I have Super Mario 3D Land in there, because I'm going to get extra items if I pass someone. And then the fact that they expanded the stuff in the Mii Plaza, where you can go in the little adventure game and collect puzzle pieces. That's fun. That's fun. I still don't think enough games take full advantage of that interaction with Street Pass and Spot Pass.
Yeah, it seems like Nintendo got stuck on a kick of just releasing old games in the 3DS version, and there just wasn't anything new or exciting about it.
But that is changing now. Like you said, Kid Icarus, which you're working on. We're going to have Luigi's Mansion 2 this year. We're going to have an Animal Crossing for the 3DS, which hopefully will really make use of those social features. It needs to.
It has to.
And if it doesn't, that's going to be a huge loss. We got Mario Kart, we got Mario 3D Land, so we got some of the titles that we wanted that weren't rehashes of old games put into 3D.
And I think if you ask me a year from now the same question, I'll have a completely different answer, because it's really looking up right now as far as prospects, like you just said.
Well, even since from Christmas, do you feel any different from Christmas? Because we talked at Christmas time, is it worth a Christmas present? And our reaction was no, it's not worth putting on the Christmas tree. How do you feel even 4 months after Christmas? 5 months. What is it? May? April? March, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
It's March.
3. Yes, I can count.
I feel like it's something more worth putting on like a birthday list now or something, because there are a few games enjoyable out for it. But it's still not quite there.
How do you feel about the price point? They dropped the price point down to $179. How do you feel about that?
I think that's fair.
Yeah, okay.
I think it's fair. It could be better, but it's definitely below 200 it has to be for sure.
And you already touched on this, but let's just mention it one more time. The big feature for this was 3D without the glasses.
Right.
Now, you were saying that you don't use it very often, and let's face it, not a lot of games use it well. But for the ones that do use it well, like Kid Icarus, do you still want to use the 3D to get that full experience from it?
Whenever I'm playing it and I'm stationary, I'm not doing anything else, I'm not on the move, then I will use the 3D and it's really fun. But half the time when I'm playing games, I'm in the car or moving somewhere, and I just can't maintain that perfect line of sight to use the 3D effectively. And so, I think given the right situation, the 3D is a really cool feature. Okay. But I feel like Nintendo almost used it as just a sales gimmick. Early on.
Okay, last thing to discuss. Does the 3DS need another analog stick? They have the Franken-Stick add-on. That's not the official name. It's Circle Pad Pro, but that's what people call it, the Franken-Stick, where you can attach it and have 2 dual analog sticks, which in the case of Kid Icarus would be really helpful. Do you think it needs that? Do you think Nintendo will do like a 3DS Slim that includes some of that?
And it's funny you mentioned that, because I hadn't really even thought about that until I started playing Kid Icarus, and I have to use the joystick and the stylus, and you have to hold it with one hand.
You get a claw from playing.
And with situations like that, it would be really helpful to have a second joystick. So that's kind of something I hope Nintendo will think about doing if they do release a updated version of the 3DS.
It's kind of a major oversight if they do that. They'll have to admit, we blew it.
Yeah,
we really blew it with that. Sorry, here's a new version. I'm glad they didn't do that already, but I think it's probably coming. Okay, so grade the Nintendo 3DS 1 year later. What grade would you give it on our scale of 1 to 7?
That is a hard grade. I'd say 4.5.
4.5?
4.5 out of 7.
You see, I'd be in the same range. 4.5, maybe a 5.
Yeah.
Because I do enjoy the potential that it has.
Right.
There are some games that are helping it live up to its potential. Nintendo's done a good job of kind of recovering from their big launching gaffe of too high with no games out for it. So I think they got it on the right track now, and we're seeing some fruits of that.
Definitely.
And I still think that the system has a lot of potential. Even the 3D has a lot of potential that hasn't been fully explored yet.
Oh, it's had potential since it came out, but I want to be shown actual.
You want to live the potential.
Solidified evidence.
I want to experience. All right.
Yeah.
So there's our thoughts on the 3DS 1 year later. Happy birthday, 3DS.
Woo!
I've enjoyed it. Not as much as I thought I would, but I'm still glad it's here.
Yeah, definitely. You can read more, gameandmovieguide.com.
Or you can like us on Facebook, keep up when we post new things like this video at facebook.com/gameandmovieguide.